Welcome back to our special America Divided. I want to culminate our time here together with a voice that I'm very grateful for, Jack Brewer. He's a professor at Fordham University and the CEO of the Brewer Group. Jack Brewer, how are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good. Praying for our nation and just hoping we can come together and, excited to be on your show. Thanks for allowing my voice to be heard and just praying for you as well.
Thank you, brother, and I appreciate that. And I'm grateful for your voice, as I said, because I feel like there's so much anger and hate and division, and it's got to stop. And there's a message of unity out there that we need, and you have. So let me start this. I heard you say the other day that there's a time in your life where you hated white people. So you had hate in your heart, and now you don't. So I'd love it if you could just take a couple minutes and walk us through that process, where it came from, and how you got rid of it.
Yeah, man, I grew up in Texas. I humble beginnings, but a family that was full of love. And when I was 13 years old, a fraction of the skinheads moved into my town. I didn't even know what a skinhead was, and then all of a sudden, I'm being called all kind of racial names and getting threatened every day at school. And so, that was a tough period of my life, and it, lasted for a couple of years. And so, when you start going through those type of things, obviously the feelings and emotions that you have in your heart is anger. I started carrying a gun for the first time, man, to protect myself from these people. My parents didn't even know I had it. And so, eventually one of my friends had to shoot one of them, shot him in his neck, put the kid in a coma.
Wow.
Because they were breaking into his house, a bunch of skinheads. So he ended up getting acquitted, but I had to go through the trial. And so, man, this was a scarring situation as a kid to go through that, and I grew up, my parents are from a small black area in our town, but around us is a lot of white people. I mean, it wasn't like I was in an all black area. So, it was tough, man. I had hate in my heart towards white people for a long time, man. And, what ended up happening is, as things started to progress and the city started to take a stance, my neighbors around me who were white started coming and supporting my family and actually help us pass the laws to end, the skinheads being able to be allowed in our schools and wear the swastikas and, wear the white shoestrings in the shoes and all of those things. So it was a trying time, man. This was covered in the national media, and back then, we didn't have social media, so people kind of pushed it under the rug. But it really divided my. It was tough.
When did you realize, this hate in my heart's not going to lead me, let alone our society, to a good place? When did that happen?
I mean, when I saw those people take a stand, or my family take a stand for black people in my community and say, we're not putting up with this. We love y'all. My coaches, my youth coaches took a stand for me as I started to go into high school. I was in the 8th grade when it started. And so 8th and 9th grade and 10th grade, my coaches took a stand for me. And so now, these are some of the people that pray for me to this day and love me to this day. And so, really it goes back to Christ, and it goes back to being able to, be one body in Christ, and we're all brothers and sisters. And so I really learned a valuable lesson at a young age. And it's really the reason I speak the way that I do today, and why I am so bold when it comes to standing up for Christ and not allowing racial divisions to divide us, because I know Satan was in those skinheads, right?
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.